welcome. Oh shit. Okay. Why do I even have this? I'm ready now. Hey y'all, welcome back to Toxic Ships Podcast, YouTube edition. I'm your host, Tiffany R. And if you're new here, welcome. Grab your favorite blanket and settle in for something like group therapy. Welcome to Toxic Ships Podcast, where my goal is to help you tap in and reveal the better self within. So, get settled and welcome to something like group therapy. Good evening, and thank you so much for deciding to drop in and share your energy with me. I'm your host, Tiffany R. Today's topic, psychopath, sociopath, or narcissist. Which are you dealing with? If this isn't your first time here, then you've heard me speak on my past marriage to the narcissist. And as I was sitting up journaling one day, I realized I've never been clear as to what makes the ex-narcissist so dangerous. So to fully explain, I need to first explain that he is an undiagnosed psychopath. Now, not to confuse psychopath with sociopath. Psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. But both of them carry narcissistic traits. So, for example, you can be a narcissist and not be a sociopath or a psychopath. But if you are either of the two, then you will certainly carry narcissistic traits. Psychopath and sociopaths express no guilt. They simply don't care, sometimes even being aroused by your pain. Narcissists, on the other hand, shows more of shame because remember, it's all about them. So if they're caught cheating, they would only care because of how it makes them look. Now, I've dated an individual prior to my ex-husband, and he was definitely a narcissist. But the ex-husband is most certainly a psychopath first and a narcissist second. Now, some of the things that the narcissistic ex-husband has done to make me think that he is definitely a psychopath includes things like not flinching or instinctively looking around when he would run yellow lights or red lights. He never looked for the police. It gave him a rush, a high. He would sit back. He would be so proud of himself. And that was disturbing to me. I know that's very tiny, but disturbing. Or he would be able to simply lie in front of the court without flinching. And I'm telling the truth, and I would sit there nervous as hell. Yet he would be able to lie with no remorse, no flinch, no fear. Some type of fear is a natural human reaction, but not for psychopaths or sociopaths. Now, on a more serious note, he has also purposely hurt our diabetic son just to get back at me. Whenever I would travel, he would make sure that my son was always ill to the point where he had to be admitted to the hospital. Now, on this occasion, my son was actually admitted to the ICU while I was out of the country, and as opposed to the narcissistic ex-husband keeping in contact with me, he cut his phone off. It was 10:45 p.m. and my son was admitted to the ICU, and it was hell getting through to speak to someone at the hospital. He wanted fear and he got fear. That's pure psychotic behavior. And as I stated earlier, they could also become aroused by one's pain. And in the past, my narcissistic ex-husband has definitely become aroused by watching me cry. He would actually tilt my face up and make me look into his eyes while I cried as he stood there getting erected, hugging me with a smirk on his face. Or even the time that he told me that if I was to leave him, I would leave with no legs. He sat there and he dug his nails into my thigh and he looked straight through me because he was not looking into my eyes. And he told me that I would not leave with legs if I was to leave him. And his face went from completely serious to this relaxed, joking face. And he said that he was joking and he laughed it off. But that and other creepy instances was my red flag to know that I knew I would literally have to sneak away when the time came for me to run away. I'm honestly not sure what would have happened if I wasn't forced to have to leave and visit my hometown because of my dad's passing. That is the only reason that I was able to break free enough to be able to plan my escape. I'm not sure what would have happened had I not had that out. Hey, if you haven't checked out Toxic Ships podcast over on YouTube, I share bonus Saturday episodes that includes topics like tips and preparations for escaping a toxic situation. And don't forget to subscribe while you're over there. Now, during the journaling session that led me to creating this particular episode, I realized that I have very few episodes or videos of me describing the ex-husband as the undiagnosed psychopath that he truly is. And it was important for me to create this episode so that anyone listening can correctly decipher the difference between who or what they are dealing with. I know when discussing psychopaths, sociopaths, or narcissists, it can become a bit jumbled and confusing. So I do hope that I was able to simplify it a bit more here today. And if you or anyone you know are dealing with domestic violence situations, please reach out for help. You never know when it will be your last chance. Until next time, make it a great day. The choice is literally yours. Well, folks, that is all of our time. I am grateful to all that tuned in this evening. I do pray that you were able to find an answer or even a glimmer of hope. Until next time, make it a great day. The choice is literally yours.